Okay. The next step with the garage, so the floor is finished. Can walk around in here, no problem. And then I've got some material and I've started working on the electrical. Now, a little background. I'm not an electrical guy. I've never messed with any electrical anything before. I'll mess with a little bit on a car. I don't do residential or commercial wiring or electrical anything. So I had somebody install the box and the wires from the meter, right? So the three big ones up here. And then the power company has hooked it up, so this is live. I've got it shut off outside and in here, so I can touch with it, mess with it right now. I've already tested it. There's nothing in here. And I've started routing the wires for the garage. The first thing I did is I started with a drawing, right? I took a picture of every wall, and then I kind of drew on there where I wanted what to go. So the first thing, of course, was the plugs. And on this wall, I've got a box on every vertical stud. And it's the same thing on the back wall all the way along, and then the same thing on that wall over there. And then way over there by the door, I have one more box right there in the middle. That's for the light switch. So I've got all the boxes mounted. Every single one of these is gonna hold 2 outlets. So it's gonna be 4 plugs total in every single one of them. And I kind of drew out my circuits. The way this is gonna go is for this wall, all the left outlets are gonna be on one circuit and all the right outlets are gonna be on one circuit. So if I'm using something in this box, the left side blows, I can still just swap it over to the right side. Maybe it was too high of a load on this circuit, something there, but I figure I'll offset every circuit. So there's only gonna be 4 plugs on each circuit here. And then I've got the back wall all the way down, same thing, left side on one circuit, right side on another circuit, except for the very last plug, and that wall will be on 2 different circuits, left side and right side. The only reason is, if I can get everything in here, there are 9 boxes across the back wall, and I only wanted 8 plugs on each circuit. Mainly because I read online that's a pretty safe bet, especially for a garage. I'm doing all my own math and calculations. I've read into the electrical code, the National Electric Code. I've kind of found how to run, what to run, how to mount. So my plan is for all this conduit that I've got going around. I know what size conduit I need based on how many wires are going in each run of conduit, how far everything goes. I'm using 20 amp breakers, 20 amp outlets, and 12-2 wiring, so everything is 12 gauge wiring. And after all the plugs are done, then I'm actually gonna go up. You can see I've already started routing it across the top over to the front, and then I've stopped right here for now. That's just how far I got the other day. That is gonna run all the way over to the corner, drop down to the switch. So that's gonna be my light switch, and then I have to run back up, and there will be boxes every other stud up top. And those boxes, from those, I will actually run MC cable up to where the lights are gonna be mounted across these right here. So I've got it mapped out. I've got all my wiring mapped out. I've bought my first round of supplies. I've already bought my second round of supplies. I think I have everything I need to get it done. Of course, I'm probably gonna find here and there that I need more, but I've still got enough to keep going right now. So my plan is to go ahead and climb up there and just keep going. And if I can get that conduit all the way across and drop down, then I've officially ran all my conduit and mounted all the boxes that I need. Then it's time to start pulling wire. So that's where I'm gonna try to get to today. I've got some time today to work on that. So I'm gonna try to finish this conduit and get ready for pulling wire, and I will update you when I'm done with the conduit. All right, update. Conduit is done all the way around. And then we go up and over for the lights. So all the conduits ran. All the boxes are in. whole bunch of material down here. I went ahead and got these two circuits wired. So all of the left plugs are on one circuit and all the right plugs are on another circuit. I went ahead and tested them. GFCI is in the first spot for both circuits. Both of these work, no issues whatsoever. So the next thing I'm gonna do is move on to the back wall and the far wall and get all that wired in. And then it's time to wire the lights very last, mainly so I can get the hang of wiring everything, how to run it. So hopefully it goes a little smoother when I'm up on the ladder. So that's the idea. But not a whole lot to show you right now. Running wire is a bit tedious, a lot of work. I've never done this before, so it's all new to me, but so far everything's working out. It's a little more difficult than I thought it'd be, but it's still okay. It's just slow. But we're gonna get the hang of it and we're gonna get it done. So I'll update you in just a little while. All right, small update. I've got the next line of wires ran. These 6 go all the way over there. And this last plug on the back wall starts these 2 circuits. So we've got the wire ran, it comes all the way through, starts here, then spits out of each junction box here for the plugs, outlets, receptacles, whatever you want to call them. Getting everything prepped now. I just tee the regular plugs in, and the GFCIs, of course, I don't tee those in because the power flows through the GFCI for the protection, but then we can tee all these in afterward. After this far side is done, then I can go back and do the rest of this wall here. So that's where I'm currently sitting. Not a huge deal, just got to keep track of which wire's which and make sure everything goes together smoothly. Tight connections, make sure everything's tight, nothing's touching, and you're good. So it's slow, but we're getting it done. So hopefully today I can have all of the receptacles done and then start on the lights. That's gonna be the hardest part because it is the longest pull until I hit that first box right up there. And we've got 2 90s, we've got a 90 there and a 90 there that we've got to get through to get just to the first box. Once we get to the first box, then we can kind of go box to box and then drop down over there for the light switch. So that's a long run to make, but hopefully it won't be too bad. We've got some practice in down here on the bottom, and then we run all the way up and over down to the switches, and then we run back up to the boxes to get the lights wired up. So not too bad, just slow, but we'll see how much we can get done today, and I'll just keep updating you on the way. And after 10 days of working on it, I think I've got around 10 days in here on and off. A little bit after work, a little bit on the weekends. The electrical's done. So here's what we got. Obviously the lights up top. So we've got a total of 10 8-foot LED strips. And if you're looking to buy a decent set, they're pretty cheap, but they're really bright. Set of LEDs, I'll put a link to these in the description. So if you want to check these out, you can. So this is 1,500 square foot, and it is basically daylight in here right now. So just to give you an example, we've got circuit 1, circuit 2. Circuit 1 is the first one, the middle one, the last one, and circuit 2 is the second one and the fourth one. So just on the 4 of them up there, that is as dim as it gets in here, and it's still pretty bright. Like, you could work in this no problem at all. And then if you turn those off and turn 1, 3, and 5 on, it's a little bit brighter in here, which is nice. And then if you turn them all on, huge difference. So I've been working with these spotlights since I've gotten in here. but these lights make a huge difference and they're really good. So this is 1,500 square feet. If you want to check these out, I'll link them in the description. But as far as everything else, all of the plugs are done on all of the walls. Everything works correctly. I've already tested everything. I've got a few people to look at it. Everything looks good. Everything looks like it's up to code. The only thing I'm waiting on is my new panel cover to get delivered. I bought that panel used and it didn't come with a cover or a door, so I had to order one of those. But when it gets here, I can put it on, break out my little pieces for the breakers to stick through, and then label everything up. So there are a total of 8 breakers in here right now. The top 2 are for the lights, and they are GFCI and AFCI breakers. Those are both for the lights. So I've got the even lights and the odd lights. And then the next 6 breakers are for the plugs. So we've got 2 circuits here, 2 circuits on the back wall, and 2 circuits on the far wall over there. So a total of 8 right now. I do have some 220 stuff I'll be adding in later, like a lift, big air compressor, a welder, also an oven is getting put in here. So there's gonna be a couple more things added later, but for now, everything that's in here is wired and done. And that's gonna do it for the electrical. So the floor and the electrical finally complete, which means I can start moving cars in, I can start moving my tools and my shelves in, and start getting everything kind of laid out how I want it, and get all my stuff in one place instead of just being scattered everywhere, and finally get back to working on some stuff. So there's gonna be some more videos on what I do to the garage. I've already got some shelves, some small things I'm bringing in. I've got to get a floor mat down at the door because I'm tracking in a lot of dirt and mud. But with this floor, it's a lot easier to clean up too. It's a lot quicker just to sweep once all the way through, get a big pile of junk, and then sweep it up and it's done. And the floor stays pretty well good, so happy with that. A lot of storage is gonna be put out here, so I've already started getting some more shelves ready to go. And other than that, man, it's just kind of accessorizing the garage, and then we'll go ahead and get some projects pulled in here. So that'll be the next couple of videos, is either setting up storage shelves or getting whatever I need to work on cars in here, and then finally getting some cars in here so I can do something over the winter time. So that's gonna do it for the electrical. If you were curious, obviously 12 2-wire, 20 amp outlets or receptacles, 20 amp fuses. So we run up over the doors. We've got junction boxes set up. It's like I said earlier, from the conduit into the junction box, from the junction box, we run MC cable, which is also 12-2, over to more 20 amp outlets that are mounted up there. So if I ever need to replace the lights, all I have to do is unplug them and then replace the light and plug it back up, and that's that. These are linkable, so you can add more in and kind of chain them together if you wanted to. You can also butt them right up against each other without a cable in here, and they can be just a continuous stream of light. So if you wanted to run this way, just a steady light all the way across, you could do that. Really cool lights, but that's what I got, and it's working really well so far. So with all that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, bye.